Welcome to the Chaos Sector. We continue with our simulation of the Dylan Mortensen interview. This time around, we address the 911 call. Let's get started. Hello, Ms. Mortensen. How are you holding up?
I'm okay, I guess. Just taking it day by day.
That's good. Listen, I called you in because I had a few questions I wanted to ask you. Hopefully we can get done fairly quick and you can go about your day. Maybe this will take about 15 to 20 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure, Officer Doe. I have no problems with that. What did you need to ask me?
Well, there was a vehicle spotted in surveillance near your home. A white sedan, perhaps a Hyundai Elantra. This vehicle is assumed to be our perp. Do you know anyone who has a white Hyundai Elantra?
No, I don't think so. Maybe somewhere else, but I don't think anyone in the neighborhood has that type of car. Is that the killer?
We believe so. It was spotted in surveillance several times, including near your home. We think this vehicle was tracking the home that night. We are currently examining the surveillance to obtain the license plate.
Wow, I never saw a white vehicle when we came back home. Were they in the neighborhood the entire time?
Based on surveillance, the vehicle was spotted around 3 a.m. That's when they initially traveled through the neighborhood.
Well, they must not be from the neighborhood then. I never saw a white Hyundai Elantra around. I think one of our friends has an Elantra, but it's like a burgundy tone.
Got it. I want to ask you what happened after the man left the home. When he departed, did you lock the front doors?
After he left, I just closed my bedroom door and locked it. I wasn't sure what was going on, I figured my friends would handle it. So I just decided to go back to sleep.
Okay, so before you went back to sleep, did you check on anything? Like inquiring about who the man was? Or did you just say forget it, whatever was going on, it was just a typical night at the home?
I kinda wondered about it, but we have people there all the time. So, it's like, I didn't really think much of it, but I was a bit concerned about the screaming though. I figured they were arguing about something. Kaylee liked to debate all the time, so maybe they just had a disagreement or something, and she got mad.
So, it wasn't really screaming, like a danger, but more so yelling? Was she yelling at the guy? What did it sound like to you?
No, it was screaming, but it wasn't like I didn't hear any type of fighting or anything, if that's what you mean. I mean, she did scream. I guess you could say it was probably danger. I can't really explain it. But I figured if it was a danger, wouldn't there be a lot of stomping, or bamming, or something, I didn't hear any of that, so I couldn't tell if she was in danger really. I just figured they were arguing, but I don't know, it was a lot going through my mind at the time. I was sleepy, kinda annoyed with all the noise. I just wanted to go to sleep,
I understand, so you never checked on anything, okay. So you go back to sleep. When do you wake back up?
Well, I think it was around, let me think for a moment. I think it was around 7 a.m. I believe it was around that time, yeah.
Got it. Is this around the time you discovered the bodies?
At first, when I woke up, I went to the bathroom to wash up. After that, it was really quiet, so I thought everyone left to go get coffee or something. I checked Xana's room, and she was on the floor. I thought she was passed out, unconscious. So, I checked on everybody else, and they looked unconscious too. But, it was like that.
So wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, it's fine. I just thought they were all passed out from drinking. I just figured they were, drinking too much. Maybe they were partying when I went to sleep. It's just what we did a lot,
Understood. So, did you think it was serious, or they just needed to sober up a bit?
Well, I didn't know really. I called some friends over, and they checked them. I can't remember much after that though, because they told me I had passed out. But they called the cops. And they said they were dead.
So the friends called the cops, and the first responding cops discovered that they were deceased, correct?
Yes, sir. When I found out, I was stuck. I couldn't move my body. I couldn't believe it. I'm sorry, officer. It's just too much.
So, at this moment, I need you to be completely honest with me, okay, Ms. Mortensen? I don't want to misunderstand anything, because this is all going into the case files. If there is something misunderstood, then I will have to go back and do a redaction to correct any misunderstandings. If I submit an inaccurate report, which is given to the news media, then the public will be misinformed about important information. I don't want that, neither do the family and friends of the victims. You are one of those friends of the victims, so I need you to help me get answers. Are we clear?
Yes, sir, I understand. I'm sorry.
Now, I'm going to be straight with you, and I expect you to be straight with me. I know you discovered your friend's deceased. There was blood everywhere. Now it's okay if you were overwhelmed, that you may have lost your composure and wasn't sure what to do. I completely understand. It's called a state of shock. I just want to know why was the call made by friends, instead of either you or Bethany, and why it took so long to make that call. I know you didn't go back to sleep, Dylan. You knew there was danger in the home. You knew your friends were in danger. Just be honest with me. What happened?
I was fucking scared, okay? I wasn't sure what to do. I freaked out. Like, it was horrible. I don't want to relive that night. I'm sorry, I can't do this. You don't know what it's like to see your friends like that, do you? Fuck no, what would you do? I completely freaked out. You don't see this shit every day. I'm all alone. Nobody can understand what it's like to see that. Don't judge me, okay?
Calm down. It's all right. It's all right. Just calm down. I don't want you to feel cornered. I just want you to tell me everything you know. If you don't feel you can do that right now, let me know, and we can end this interview. But Ms. Mortensen, you have important information we need, which can speed up the process of finding our suspect. I know it's hard to feel like everything has come crashing down in your world. Be strong for your friends, family, your university, and Moscow. We can get through this.
I'm sorry, Officer Doe. I want to be left alone. I don't want to live anymore, after what I saw. Everything was taken from me, my friends. Why should I keep living? It's pointless. I don't care anymore.
Whoa, calm down. All right, let's end this, okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Let's head out, okay?
No, I can do this. Are you sure you want to know?
Hold that thought. I'm sorry. I have to take this call. If you want, you can step out to get a breather, perhaps make a phone call to your family or friends. Get some fresh air. I'll let you know when we can resume, okay?
Yeah, okay. I need some fresh air.
I can't believe this. Maybe she is a suspect after all. Hey, I want to keep this brief. We may be getting closer to catching our perp.
I was calling to inform you about who called the authorities from the home. It apparently was a group of friends who had arrived early Sunday morning.
Yeah, but that's not entirely correct, Jane. I have the witness here at my office right now.
Oh, really? But what do you mean by not entirely correct?
Well, the witness is in a bit of trouble here. I think we have a problem with the credibility of her accounts. Call me later. I want to continue the interview.
That sounds very troubling to me. But I guess it would be far worse for her, right? A witness lacks credibility in a murder case? Well, let's see where this ends up. Anyway, I'll call you later.
Okay, have a good day. Just perfect. Never saw this one coming. She has to know something. It has to be linked to the murders somehow. There's no way she didn't know they were being harmed in some manner. I wonder if she was involved. I can't get that thought out of my head. Well, there's only one way to find out. I don't want to pressure her into a panic, though. Then it will be harder to get information. It's ironic. This goes from an interview to an interrogation. Damn it. Yes, come in.
Officer Doe?
Yes, Dylan?
I'm just gonna, go home, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, to be honest with you, Dylan, you are in a very peculiar situation. I can't say it any other way. This is what I have to figure out. I respect your decision to go home and think about everything. I would actually advise that, but at some point, Dylan, you have to tell me, or someone else, the truth. You don't want that truth to eat away at your conscience, do you? I know you don't want that. I can see it in your eyes. Now I don't know if you're a good person or not, but it seems you got caught in the middle of something. If you are being threatened in any way, please call me immediately, okay?
Okay, Officer Doe. I will.
Okay, that's good. With what you told me already, and what you were about to tell me, I think we might need to look into putting you into witness protection. I don't want something happening to you, based on what you witnessed. I'm pretty sure there is a lot of questions at your university and social media. I think it would be wise to take a leave from school for a while until this investigation is over. Also, try to stay off of social media for a while as well. We don't need you being lured into conversations with people. I know it would be hard to unplug yourself from cyberspace, but I think it's for the better. There are those who want to get information from you so they can misrepresent you publicly. This may come from undercover investigators. Speaking of investigators, if someone approaches you or calls you, claiming to be an investigator on this case, I want you to call me, okay?
Yeah, okay. I kinda get the feeling people are giving me bad vibes, you know? It's like they believe I had something to do with it. Should I leave town?
Well, you might want to consult with your family, an attorney, and also law enforcement. Legally, you can leave town, and a representative of the United States Attorney's Office will inform you of out-of-town procedures for a witness. But remember, you are a witness or survivor in a murder investigation. So you have to stay in contact with law enforcement. I am currently that contact. You have my number.
Oh, okay. Well, I will keep that in mind. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave, sir. I really appreciate everything, for understanding what I'm going through. I truly appreciate it. If I have any questions or information, I will call you. Thanks for everything, Officer Doe.
No problem. It's my job. I believe you want to do the right thing, Dylan. We just need to take things step by step. I thank you for having the courage to tell me what you have so far. I know it's weighing heavy on your heart to even relive that night. But you're a strong young lady. We will get justice one way or another. Take care. Yes, come in.
Hey John, so I reviewed that transcript, and I believe she is actually a witness, if anything else. I won't say she's a suspect at this point, but she definitely knew they were being attacked.
Man, this does not look good. Either she is involved or knows who did it. This seems to be the only two scenarios. When did she discover those bodies? We have to assume after the killer left the home. I mean, it's impossible she just locked herself in the bedroom and went to sleep. I can't accept that.
She knew what was going on. We just need to find out to what extent. I'm thinking she knows a lot more than what she is willing to tell us. And you have to keep in mind, she's not exempt from lying.
I'm trying to be optimistic here. If she knew they were being attacked, this doesn't explain her decisions, right? I mean, being scared shitless is understandable, but we're talking about a time frame from 4 a.m. to 4:30 a.m., and then after the killer leaves, and no call to the department? She didn't call the department. Her friends came over and called us. This was at 12 p.m., man. There's no excuse for that. I don't care how frightened she was. Simply no excuse.
So what do you make of it? Is she a suspect, or even a primary suspect?
Looking into her eyes, no. I think she was instructed to allow this to happen. Meaning, someone was directly associated with her and knew those students also. I think they stayed in contact with her before, during, and after the murders. This would explain why she didn't call us when she discovered the bodies. It was meant to be delayed. And that's what concerns me greatly, because whoever is behind this knew that waiting to call us would allow the killer to fade off into the night. If we were called around the time the murders happened, it would reach the news quickly, and people would be talking in the community and across the town. This would put tremendous pressure on the killer, because they would know we're on their ass. But waiting delays our response, it delays the news report, and it delays the town's awareness of the murders. Someone is very clever, and they used Dylan to carry out this strategic plan.
So you think the killer is from here?
More than likely, I have this eerie feeling that the killer is close, like literally still walking around somewhere. Could be right under our noses. That's the scary reality. They may kill again.
Why would they risk it?
Well, for one, fear. A killer on the run may kill again, simply out of fear of being caught. It's a quirky psychological thing with killers. When they're on the run, they may encounter people they perceive to be witnesses somehow, when that person has no knowledge of it. But because they become so paranoid, any little observation turns into a potential threat of them being identified. And we have to keep in mind that their asset has taken a trip to the police station. I'm pretty sure they know this, because she told them. Even if she didn't, they're watching her every move anyway.
Interesting. I agree with your take. So, what should we do about Mortensen? Since she is being watched by the killer. You know, we do have to keep in mind that Bethany Funk was also there that night. I mean, was she asleep throughout all of that horrific activity? Because I find that hard to believe.
We're working on interviewing her next. But if Mortensen can spill the beans, we'll have everything we need to track down our killer, or at this point, killers.
I'm just saying, maybe the one talking is throwing us off, possibly. I feel like she's a scapegoat.
Yeah, I get that too. More so like a decoy, if you want to really push the envelope. But even still, we know she was physically there that night, and at the least, knew her friends were being attacked. Involved or not, we have that on record.
What if they both killed their roommates? It wouldn't be far-fetched. I mean, the suspicious behavior usually translates to suspicious person, right?
It's possible. I just don't see them being capable of such a horrific thing. But maybe they were forced to drug them, and the killers finished them off.
How do you sleep through screaming and yelling, a dog barking, all of this noise? Wait a minute, let's kinda look into that for a moment, John. Bethany wasn't asleep when this activity was unfolding. It's impossible. If she was on the first floor, with complete silence while sleeping, that noise on the second floor, and even the third floor, would have woke her up, right?
I'm listening.
So, if she was awake, don't we have two people who are aware of attacks? And even more so, John, we have two people who discovered dead bodies, and neither called the cops upon that discovery. This seems planned prior to them coming home. Mortensen claimed that her and Bethany arrived at home first, approximately an hour before everyone else. I find it quite odd that the two survivors were the first two to arrive back at home. If Mortensen claims she heard screaming from Ogan's bedroom on the third floor, surely Funk heard screaming from Colonel's bedroom on the second floor. The same concept applies here, John. Mortensen was awakened by the noise above her, right? We know Kernodle or even Chapin were screaming, and physical engagement had to take place. And of course, Mortensen would be literally right next to the attacks across the hall. The victims put up a struggle, all of this activity, and the screaming woke Funk up, without a doubt. Something tells me this was an inside job, or they were accessories to the murders. Either way, they are guilty of several crimes here. They had to be in communication that night, and I would even suggest they were never asleep to begin with.
Holy fuck, Joe, you might be onto something here. We need to get Mortensen back in here immediately. I think we have to interrogate her, and then I'll let you interrogate Bethany. I already have Mortensen's accounts. Let's see if it matches up with Bethany's, when you established she was awake, of course.
There's no way Bethany stayed asleep throughout that night. It's just impossible. This causes even more concern, because what would she be doing during the attacks? I'm sure she would call everyone upstairs to see what's going on, the same way Mortensen claimed she did. I think we have two potential killers, or at least two accessories to the murders.
We may have a strong lead here. Alright, then that's our strategy. I'll give you a call tomorrow. Contact Bethany and ask her to come in for questioning.
Sure thing.
Alright, take it easy.
This is the Chaos Sector.